Assalamu alaikum viewers. So today we are going to solve October November 2017 paper 1-3 question 8. So let's begin. A man stands in a lift that is accelerating vertically downwards as shown. Which statement describes the force exerted by the main man on the floor? Okay. So as you can see that a man is standing in the lift and it is accelerating downwards. What do you mean by like what can you conclude from that it is accelerating downwards? This means that the resultant force is pointing downwards, which is I'm labeling it as R. Okay. So now there are three forces acting on this man. One is its weight. Okay. And other is the force that is acting upward by the floor on the man. Okay. And the third force is acting that is exerted by the man on the floor. Okay. So now as you can see that the resultant force is pointing downwards. This means that the weight is greater because as you can see that these both forces are action reaction pair, like they are Newton's third law pair. So this must be equal. So let's read the option first. It is equal to the weight of the man. A. B is it is greater than the force exerted by the floor on the man. C. It is less than the force exerted by the floor on the man. So now we're saying that it is like this option B and C must be wrong because it is equal to the force. It is equal to the force exerted by the floor on the man. Okay. So it is like, it would be equal to the force exerted by the floor on the man because they are action reaction pair. So option B and C would be wrong. Now let's look at option A and D. Now for option A and D, you need to consider the situation which I'm trying to explain it to you. Imagine this is a man. Okay. Now there are three forces that are, as I told you before, acting on it. One is its weight. Other is the force that it is exerting on the floor. And the third is the force that the floor is exerting on the man. So now as it is accelerating downwards, so the resultant force must be downwards, means means some of the these both forces would be greater than this force, right? So now you need to understand that as these both forces are equal, the forces which are action reaction pair, so weight must be greater. Okay, so this force must be smaller than the weight so that uh, the resultant force is pointing downwards, right? Like these both forces would cancel out, of course. The remaining would be only the weight. Now, if this force would be greater, so then the weight, then the effect of weight could also be cancelled out. So the resultant force would be pointing upwards. The thing that I'm trying to explain it to you is that the weight of the object must be greater than the force exerted by the floor on the man, so that the resultant force is pointing downwards and the lift is accelerating downwards. So this proves that as this force and this force are equal to each other, so this force would be, of course, less than the weight. Okay. So as the upward force is less than the weight because like the resultant force is pointing downwards, so of course it would be less than the weight. And in regards to that, or as a result of that, the downward force is also equal to the upward force. So this would be equal to this one. So this one would also be less than the weight. I hope it's clear. I've tried my best to explain it to you. This is a bit tricky problem. Still, if you have any doubt or you are still confused about it, you may ask in the comment section below. So option D is the correct answer, since option A is not the correct answer, as weight and this force cannot be equal. Okay. Weight and this force cannot be equal, then the resultant force won't be pointing downwards. Thank you so much for watching. Still, if you have any doubt, any confusion, you may ask in the comment section below.